All right, so since I returned to YouTube, vlogs have absolutely exploded. There's tons of them. Team member Matt Vaughn, Vibes, Andrew Owen, the list goes on. A lot of people pumping out that vlog content. Now, first, I think vlogs are absolutely great. They're a method of sharing the dream that is poker. I think that it gets other players involved. I love that someone who is just like a 1-2 grinder can become poker famous, and I appreciate the work that goes into them because I did one and stopped after the first one. I was like, too much work, I can't do this. I'd rather teach in this sort of format. So that being said, my vantage point of poker is education. It's what I'm committed to, right? So I want to make poker players better. I want to help in the most effective way that I can. I want you to watch one of these videos and have a shift in how you approach the game, study the game, play the game, right? And at School of Cards and Beyond Tells, we are primarily assessment driven. So I have people do assessments before taking our courses, and we have accumulated a ton of data over the years. And we ask a lot of questions. So like probably one of the most top questions is, what work have you done in your game? And it's an interesting way that people answer this question. So some people will say it's everything from, what work have you done in your game? And they'll say, I've read Harrington on Hold'em and I have read Super System, to I have done Upswing, Razor's Edge, some School of Cards content, Red Chip Poker, Elliott Rowe, like every single poker trading site out there they have done, right? And it sort of shows you, it doesn't mean that they're good. It just means that's what they've purchased, that's what they've done. And it's interesting to see that spectrum. And one of the things that I've noticed over the past year is the word vlog in what work have you done in your game has extensively increased, meaning people will say, oh, I've read this and I've read this, and I watched this, and this vlog. And this is one of the things I want to say, like, vlogs are great, but sitting there and watching them is really a passive form of poker entertainment. Most poker players think they're working on their game. They're not working on their game. They're enjoying poker and they're entertaining themselves when playing poker. Like all of podcasts, a lot of my content, a lot of this content, like you're sitting there listening to Carr, listening to Blake, they rant about whatever the hell he's ranting about. I'm having you have shifts. I'm having you create sort of shifts in your game. Like, oh, wow, I didn't think of that. Or, oh, wow, I wasn't aware of that. And that's sort of the goal of these videos. But let's really define work. And the reason is work is when you're actively working on your thought process. So when you're sitting there and you're deconstructing ranges, or you're discussing a hand and what you could have done better, whenever you're trying to solidify or improve your on-table thought process, that is work. Everything else is just sort of entertainment. And at its core, one of the reasons I think vlogs are so powerful and so many people like them is because people get to live through the vlog, right? They live through the experience. The process of seeing someone leave their house and sit down at the table is a way of you living that experience. It's very similar to the research that has been done on unboxing videos, where there is apparently a similar psychological or physiological effect when someone watches an unboxing video to when they actually unbox a video themselves. So they can't afford buying, the iPhone 11. So they watch the video of the iPhone 11 and they get that, oh yeah, there we go, what's inside, that same satisfaction. Vlogs are very, 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 very similar. And why I said the scope of School of Cards and Beyond Tells is education, I think a lot of people watch vlogs thinking that they're actually working on their game, when in the reality, they're just sort of another poker form of entertainment. It's like watching television. But I have some tips to sort of help you reframe how you watch vlogs and structure them in a way that actually helps your game. So first, use them as motivation. Figure out what you need to do to live that experience. If you're watching someone else, I'm sure you want to play. You want to actually experience the same level of commitment that they do, and you want to get out there and not necessarily make a vlog, but you want to probably play poker. So make a commitment in any way that you can and use the vlog as a reminder to also play poker for yourself and accomplish your own dreams and the own things that you want in your life. And second, watch them with a pen. Critique the way they play, the way they discuss hands. Think about how your game conditions are different than the game conditions that they're in. How, you would play a hand differently than what they did. What mistakes you think were made. Ask why and try to justify it. Just, you gotta make sure you engage. So even if you were to watch every vlog and then at the end of the vlog, you would go to the comment section and say, okay, like how could I contribute something positive? There's just so many just dickheads. Like, that's another thing. Like, you scroll through the like, I'm almost even worried to see what's gonna start coming. It seems like back in the day, I don't know, like YouTube was just like it was a cool place. There was just a lot of support. There's very few people that were like, now it's just like, who is this guy? He has a dumb face. Like, no offense, and I will rip apart people. Like, what's going on in your life? If you're really gonna scroll down and write like negative, like just why? Like, you're not up to much. So don't do any of that. If you're through with this video this far, you're probably not one of those people, but I just find it very, very interesting. But you can post something that is not necessarily critical of the vlog, but that is like exploratory, like, oh, that's interesting in my game dynamic. If I do something like this, I think I'll be called more often, or whatever it is. You just want to turn it into some sort of tangible execution of your actual thought process. Third, look for consistency in their thought process and attempt to replicate it at a very basic level. And also be very careful with this. So one of the biggest problems poker players make is they copy the thought process of other good players. And what they don't understand is the other players are only explaining a part of the thought process, not the full thought process. So if you're watching your vlog person and that person's like 3-betting a ton, and you're like, you know what, I need to 3-bet a ton in my game. You need to work on your 3-bet range. You need to work on your game conditions. You need to work on all of that. But you still can look for consistencies and elements in their thought process that you want to include. So for example, one of the things that you want to include in my thought process when I do my breakdown videos, my Beyond Tells videos, one of the words I use a lot is never. I constantly use the word never, 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 never. Saying like, I never think a player has this portion of their range. I never think a player has this portion of their range. It's my way of narrowing ranges more effectively via behavior. You could be like, oh, I like that word never. I'm gonna start thinking about that at the table. Or you can use another word that a player uses. Finally, in summary, I really don't think that watching a vlog is working on your game. The above advice is sort of getting you to more actively engage in it. And if you use it, I think it can have a massive help. But also, there's nothing wrong. You don't have to always work on your game. Sometimes I watch vlogs, they're just fun. Or I watch other videos, it's just like interesting and it's comical. But just don't confuse it for, I'm working on my game, I've watched every vlog. Like, no, you're not working your game. You're watching other people accomplish their goals, their dreams, their ambitions. And if you don't turn that into an actual tangible thought process and you're not off table writing things down and thinking through it, you're not working on your game. Also, support anyone who makes poker content. I think it's good. I know this is, from talking to Matt and some other vloggers and from some personal experience, it goes a long way when you just support people who are making content. Just post something nice in the comment. Thank you so much. Click like, subscribe, click whatever. So I think it's really big. I do believe that vlogs are a powerful source in poker. And you have to understand, guys, like poker content, we need other sources to get people in this game. Like the days of the mystification or the oh my God, like watching players play on the on ESPN and the WSOP, like those days are done. When the poker affiliates dropped, all the content really dissipated. And now I attribute a lot of growth in poker to like two places, like Poker Central, which does, without them, I don't think there would be anywhere near as much coverage and stuff in poker. And two, the vloggers, man. The vloggers and other people who have all the content, whether you like it or agree with it or disagree with it, the proliferation of content or the amount of content in poker, it helps the community. No matter what you say, it could be good, it could be bad. It just does help because it gets eyes and gets people involved in the concept of poker. So yeah, always support content, including, of course, me and School of Cards and Beyond Tells. But yeah, that's about it. Maybe I'll have some of the vloggers on here to discuss some stuff. Posted a link to my boy Matt, School of Cards member vlog. That's about it. If I had a vlog, you know what I would call it? Blake's Burgers. And what I would do is every week I would sit here with a cheeseburger and a milkshake at different places all around the world. And I would eat the burger and I would review it.
That would be a good... My burgers.
I'd be fat. It'd be fat. Welcome to Blake's Burger number 7.